Good morning. So today is the next 5 paragraphs of Official Declaration 1. It's the statement by Lorenzo Snow, and then 4 paragraphs from the excerpts from 3 addresses by President Wilford Woodruff regarding the manifesto. So in these, Lorenzo Snow is just saying that the church has sustained the manifesto, and it is now authoritative and binding. And that's in 1890. And then this comment here from Wilford Woodruff in 1890. The Lord will never permit me or any other man who stands as president of this church to lead you astray. It is not in the program. It is not in the mind of God. If I were to attempt that, the Lord would remove me out of my place, and so he will any other man who attempts to lead the children of men astray from the oracles of God and from their duty. I think this is a very important doctrine or statement to be made, that when they stopped polygamy, a branch broke off and became the FLDS, and continued polygamy because they believed it's the only way to go to heaven type thing. And so they broke off and they left the church. But if God is God, he wouldn't allow somebody to do that to his church. He wouldn't allow Brigham Young to take the church in a direction where he wasn't willingly going to have Joseph Smith take the church, and so on and so forth. To think that man is greater than God, if you believe A, B, and C, God is God, Jesus is Jesus, they're real, they existed, this is the restored gospel of Jesus Christ, then how can a man upset that? If you believe these things, then how can you believe that a prophet of God is acting out of accordance with the will of the Lord? In these statements that I'm reading here, in these paragraphs, it doesn't come off as defensive. It comes a little bit defensive, but not like being attacked defensive. More like, why aren't you understanding this defensive type thing? He in the next main piece that we're going to finish tomorrow with the last 5 paragraphs, he's going to ask the church a question. And he says, the Lord has told me to ask the Latter-day Saints a question, and he also told me that if they would listen to what I said to them and answer the question put to them by the Spirit and power of God, they would all answer alike, and they would all believe alike with regard to this matter. Now, we don't get into the question or the answer because that's for tomorrow, but he's like, some people are like, oh, well, why did it change this? We could do this in our own with President Nelson. Well, why did he change visiting teaching? Why is he stressing the name of the church? Some people, crazy as it may seem, is like, why did he change the name of the church? No. It's always been that name. But, why has this procedure changed? Why has this procedure changed? If President Monson was a true prophet, then how can, you know, President Nelson change this, and, you know, all that stuff. And in reading my Nelson book last night, it was talking about the change in the handbook in 2016, I think, where it said that members of the church who are gay and get married are in a state of apostasy, and any of their children may not be eligible for baptism. So many people had an issue with that, and I think in recent years it was just changed or something of that nature. I remember a lot of upheaval about that. Doctrine doesn't change. Doctrine that men and women are supposed to be married together, that's never changed. That's a law of heaven. Adam and Eve, you know. And so the policies change. I don't know. Where am I trying to get to? I'm trying to get to, if you believe that God is directing this church, then you need to believe that God is telling the prophets to make these policy changes. In reading the book, it gives tons of insight into how the first presidency works and how the Quorum of the 12 works. I never knew their duties or their jobs before, and in this book it's laying it all out, and it's very interesting. But it's also confirming to me that they are led by Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, and if you believe the same thing, then you shouldn't be defensive about policy changes. You shouldn't leave the church because the prophet is stressing the name of the church, that we need to use the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Anyways, rambling thing. If you believe A, B, and C, then you should believe that Wilford Woodruff, like, the Lord told him to stop polygamy. So anyways, rambling, but we'll finish up tomorrow on this one. All right. The end. Talk to you later.